Hey guys, it's Sarah with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we have a review and install of the Rough Country Low Profile Hard Trifold Tonneau Cover fitting your 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiators. This is perfect for the Gladiator owner who's looking for the security of a hardcover and wants one with a trifold style and a low profile design. This hard trifold style tonneau cover features a low profile design with an easy to use quick clamp fastening system that locks at every panel for ease of operation. To operate this tonneau cover, release your tailgate. Then release the cable for this back section. Repeat that for the middle section. Releasing the cable and folding it up. Now it's in the frontmost position, you can latch it down. And to fold it back out, you unclip each of the buckles and fold it out one section at a time. Make sure it's clamped in place, in the middle and at the back. And then shut your tailgate. It's constructed from durable and lightweight aluminum panels with a heavy-duty 6061 aluminum frame and a nice textured black powder coat finish. This hardcover protects your bed from the elements and the contents in your bed from would-be thieves, locking with your tailgate for added security. So as far as price goes, this tonneau comes in at around $700, which is middle of the road price-wise when compared to other options. And for your money, you are getting a hard and low-profile tonneau cover that locks in several positions. And as far as the install goes, I'm giving this one a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It does require some minor trimming of the plastic to get this installed, but all in all can be done within 20 minutes. So with that said, let's check out our install. For this install, we used an electric ratchet, but a hand ratchet will work just fine. We also used 10 and 11 millimeter sockets, a 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench, and a razor knife, or you can use another cutting tool. Alright, so before we can bolt up our brackets, some Gladiators may require you to cut out a plastic piece of your bed rail caps here. You'll notice there's an outline right along the edge of the section that you need to cut. You just cut along that outline to reveal 2 threaded holes. Now I'm going to pull this out away from the bed a bit, and I'm using a razor knife. I'm going to carefully cut along this outline here. And you can use a similar cutting tool, whatever is going to allow you to cut through this plastic. We're going to move on to cut along the top here. And once more along the outside. Now that the threaded holes are exposed, we can line up our rear brackets with the openings on the side of the bed. And with the included hardware, loosely thread them in for now. We'll tighten them down later. Now we're working at the front of the bed. We're grabbing our bracket for the front of the bed. This one has an L to designate the driver's side. We're lining up the post here with the opening in your bed. And you should see a threaded hole on the other side. You're going to thread one of your M6 bolts into this threaded hole. Hold the bracket in place, and with a 10 millimeter socket, tighten it down. Now we can get our bed rail installed. Now before we do that, we're going to install this drain tube. You'll see a post on the bottom side of it. What you're going to do is line up your drain tube and twist it into place. Now we can line up the rail. Now there are 2 threaded studs on the back part of your rail. You're going to line those up with the bracket at the back side. And at the same time, there are 2 openings in a bracket at the front of your rail. You're going to line those up with your front bracket. There'll be 2 threaded holes. Starting at the front, line up your rail with the bracket and thread
2 of the M6 bolts in. Grab your 10mm socket and tighten them down.
All right, now you can route your drain tube wherever you like. There is a little opening behind this D-ring here. We're gonna go to there, but as long as you get this drain tube out of the bed, any opening will work. Now we're moving on to the bracket at the back. We have it lined up over the studs on the bottom of the rail. It's maybe a little bit hard to see. We're gonna take the included nuts and thread them over the top of each stud. Next up, I have a 10mm ratcheting wrench to tighten down these 2 bolts we put in earlier. Now with an 11mm socket, we can tighten down those nuts that go to the rail. All right, now that this rail is installed, we're gonna repeat all of those steps to install the other side. All right, now I can place the tonneau cover on top of the rails. You may want a friend to help you line it up, but it's not terribly heavy. Once it's placed on there, we're gonna fold it out and check fitment. Now that the tonneau is properly fitted, we're going underneath and we're gonna line up the clamps to clamp the tonneau to the rails. Slide them in place, line them up, and tighten it down with the knob to clamp it. And repeat that process for the second mounting point. Line it up to the grooves, and tighten it down. Repeat that on the other side. Once it's bolted down, you can unclip your tonneau and fold out each section. Now this tonneau does lock in each section, so lock it down in the center. And again at the back. All right, so that is gonna do it for the review and install of this tonneau cover. And remember, for all things Gladiator, keep it at extremeterrain.com.